Okay, I think that is it. All right. Well, to anyone who's watching the replay of this, welcome. So, I just wanted to, number one, I hope wherever you're at, you're having a beautiful day. It finally is turning into, I feel like summertime is right around the corner. It's weather is definitely getting a lot hotter, a lot warmer, really beautiful outside. I wanted to take this outside, but I kind of ran out of time, a little bit of time. So I just wanted to make just a super quick video. So if you're watching this replay and you're not aware, I am finally going to be a first time author. I'm very, very excited to finally be coming out with uh, my first book. And it is definitely right around the corner, hopefully coming out soon. And it is titled Life Change Now, a 3-step guide to manifesting what you want through the magic of being who you are. And so initially, of course, it was supposed to be out already. It was supposed to come out like the 10th or so. But yeah, life happens and here we are. And especially being that it's the first book I've ever created, it's definitely a learning curve. So there's definitely a lot of things I've learned, which I'm actually going to talk about shortly in a moment. And definitely, if you watching this are hoping to actually come out with your own book, wanting to write your own book, do it, please. Definitely gonna talk about that in a second. Why it's important, that an imperative that you do that you add your voice to the world, that you help other people. And that's really important. So we're going to talk about that in a second. But yeah, so my book, Life Change Now, is all about creating what you desire in your life, creating manifestation change. And I'm writing this book. I'm putting this book out because you watching this video, you are a creator, 110%, and you are so important. It's so vital for you to be able to make the change you desire, for you to be happy, for you to be able to create and achieve what is most important to you, and for you to find happiness and contentment in this existence. And I believe that it's vitally important because, number one, the lack of contentment is what lies at the root of so much unhappiness in this earth. You know, everything that runs the gamut, from war to just personal, a lot of personal discord, and even mental things such as depression. Though there are certainly other players that cause us to struggle in life, and for us to have issues such as this. I feel like lack of personal power and lack of contentment and lack of the belief in ourselves to change our own circumstances, regardless of what's going on, lies at the core, the very hot lava core of so much unhappiness and so much discord and bad things, bad shit that happens in life. So yeah, I think it's really, really important. I always wanted to really find, for me, what would work. And there's so many wonderful books out there on spirituality, on manifestation, on really changing your life, and they have so much beautiful things to say, and they really have, in their own, have really changed my life. Such as, of course, the most famous of all, that kind of kicked everything off, The Secret, was, everyone's heard of that. I'm sure you've heard of that as well. And that's absolutely is an amazing book, an amazing jumping off spot. And it is just it has so much really good things to say and a lot of good information. But at the same time, I felt like I personally struggled with that. I personally struggled with finding what really worked. I personally struggled. I don't know about you, but I knew that there was something to this, and I knew that it would help me. But there was something that just kind of I was failing to really grasp, because I failed with a lot of it, and I struggled with trying to change things, and I just felt like there was something that wasn't quite clicking there. So I still would follow along with it, but it wasn't until I discovered for me personally tarot and hypnosis that really kind of filled in the some additional pieces that really helped me to make some changes that I really needed to make. And with the tarot, what I loved is that it actually compartmentalized a lot of the different aspects of ourselves, such as the spirit or soul, such as two parts of our mind, the conscious mind, subconscious mind, such as the body. And that really kind of, when I was really working with the cards and learning about the cards, it really kind of helped me to figure out how we can actually arrange these things. And when I got into hypnosis, that really, really helped to really put everything together as well. Because hypnosis really puts the emphasis on your mind. And even in tarot, I kind of see that the mind is also the linchpin in between your higher self and between your body and the material world. And it just made so much sense. And when I approached it that way, I just had a lot of really awesome, amazing things happen and unfold in a way that I hadn't really that hadn't happened. And I knew that this makes sense. This makes sense. And I really always wanted to put what I learned and write it down and be able to share it with other people. Because it's not taking away from anything that anyone else has written, but there are other things that people have written that still, to me, I needed something else too. It was wonderful what I learned from others, but I had to find out something else. And I believe that there are, in every category, we have this. We have things that come before people write down their words to help other people, but there's still, it could be something that you struggle with. So the more of us actually that want to help and have something that has helped you, the more of us that share this with each other, the more people we can help, because we're all so, so different. And we all learn differently. We all have different circumstances. And it's really awesome to know that just because something over here, or even all these things over here, didn't quite work for you, it's not because you're broken. It's not because you're hopeless. It's not because you suck. It's just because perhaps there's another way to do it. And as long as people come out with their own stories, their own methodologies, I feel like this is something that can help people. So I really, really wanted to share that. And so Life Change Now is all about aligning. So it's definitely a kind of a spiritual book. It's about manifestation. But the way I kind of have my approach here is using the mind as a tool, using your mind as a tool to be able to bring about changes that you desire. And your mind, like any tool, it is really a skill and a talent to use it to be able to create change that you want in your life. Just like wielding any other tool or wielding something like a baseball or a basketball, some people just seem to arrive on this planet with natural talent and know what to do. Just like, we have amazing athletes that you throw them a basketball and they just can make amazing things happen with it. And even though they train, most of what they're working with is simple raw talent, and their training is just shaping that raw talent. But there's a lot of other people that, even though they may not have the talent, natural born talent, with practice, you can actually increase your skill level and become quite good. And I feel like that is probably the majority of us. The majority of us didn't arrive on this planet being able to use our brains in the perfect way that can align us with what we want, but we can learn to do that with practice and repetition. And that's at the core of Life Change Now. So Life Change Now is also a journaling exercise book. There's several journaling questions, journal prompt questions and exercises that are in the book. And it is also designed to be a 30-day program to go through 4 weeks in order. And actually, even though the book is, I think, like 12 chapters long, you can actually just skip to, I think it's chapter 8. That is the first week, though the chapters before that will provide some background to it as well. So that will be out shortly. I'm hoping for next week, but definitely by the 31st. So and as far as learning, I'm learning so much when it comes to books. So number one, make sure you leave enough time. Yeah, I just was totally off with my timing. I had no idea how long it would actually take. So apparently, I'm doing both an ebook and a print version. So just getting the formatting, could be a little bit different. So I'm just kind of moving that along as well. All right, so that will be out shortly. And so I just wanted to really create that because at the end of the day, my job, though on paper, I'm considered a certified consulting hypnotist. I'm a tarot consultant as well. But honestly, I'm a problem solver. Like that's what I do is I help people to figure out their issues and their problems or help them to figure out what the best way is for them to be able to push through problems and push through boundaries. And I really wanted to create something that can be very, compact, and that even if someone doesn't work with me in a one-on-one capacity, they can use it in a way to basically bring about change wherever they're at, whatever time they have, hanging out by the beach, they can get started. I feel like it is a way to kind of go past myself and be able to help other people. And it's my hope to find it helpful. So that is going to be, again, Life Change Now, a 3-step guide to manifesting what you want through the magic of being who you are. And that is going to be out soon. So it's coming. I know it's late, but it will be out soon. Okay. So if you are someone who is looking to write, it is so, so, so imperative that you do this. Get it going. So I kind of wanted to talk about that as well as just my journey here, being a first-time author. It definitely has been an interesting one. I've learned a lot. I am definitely thinking that I might do this again in the future. And I think it's going to go a lot, or at least a little smoother probably next time, just because again, being, a self-employed person, without a team that you hire to do all of these things, that you kind of are left doing it yourself. So you're going to learn as you go. That's just the way it is. And I'm happy to. It's been a wonderful journey and really, really cool. So if you are looking to write a book as well, and you're struggling, you still haven't gotten it there. So the first thing I want you to do is ask yourself why. Why is it that you want to put out this book? Like, what is your big reason for it? And I feel like it's really important to do that because as I said a little bit ago, even if it is in a topic that there are other books written, even by people that you probably may look up to so much. Like, what could I possibly have to say that so-and-so hasn't, this and that. And I'm going to start by just telling you, imposter syndrome is real. It definitely is a real thing. And you have to definitely be true to what you want to do. And you have to be true to what your message is and what your perspective is here. Because we have so many different perspectives on this planet that even no matter how wonderful and big a book is, it still may not have all the answers for everyone. So it's really, really imperative that especially if in this, you've found something that works for you and you have a little bit more extra to say on the subject, we need to hear your story. We need to hear your book. We need to hear what you have to say. And it's really important for you to get that message out, because your message could help people in a different way, because we're all in a different situation. We all learn differently. We all have different experiences. So it's really important for you to contribute. So it's important for you to deal with that critic and that imposter that tells you, that voice that says, who are you to do such and such? Who are you to write a book? You're worthy of that. You're absolutely worthy of writing a book. You're absolutely worthy of having your voice and your story told. So it's really important for you to get out there and freaking do it. Um, Definitely. And I'm probably going to do something on that inner critic that just doesn't shut up, that is just a ruthless bitch. It just and always telling you all the things you're not and this and that. So yeah, you are 100% worthy. And because you're having this constant voice telling you to do it, that to me is a sign that that's your higher self speaking up, that it wants to express it, so that you need to. It's always going to be there. That voice is not going to shut up. That beautiful voice is also not going to shut up unless you allow this to come through you. So one of the things that can keep you on track and keep you is why. What do you want to accomplish with this book? Why are you wanting to get this out? And one thing you can do is definitely write that down. Write down why you want to do it. And preferably put it somewhere place visible, like a whiteboard or, someplace on your computer where you can actually see it. And let that be for you, because a big why is what's going to really push you forward. And number 2 is, if you are waiting for that perfect giant amount of time to finally write, to get started, if you're waiting for that perfect weekend in that cozy cabin, getaway, it's not going to happen. Trust me, I was just like you. And I was constantly waiting for this copious, generous amounts of time to get this thing done. And it never came. And when it actually did come, of course, I didn't feel like doing that. I wanted to watch Netflix, or I wanted to read. I'd much rather read when I had this beautiful vacation-worthy, cabin or whatever the heck. The last thing I wanted to do was actually write, of course. So you kind of have to let go of that I have to have this amazing amount of time sort of thing. I did a short video on getting up early. It's certainly wonderful if you want to take advantage of that and get up early a little bit. I did for a little bit, and I got up early, and at one point I was able to get up for like an hour earlier, like 30 minutes earlier, and I wrote a lot of it then. I didn't maintain it because I struggle to be a morning person. I go in waves. Sometimes I'm all about getting up early to write, and then I'm not, and then I am, and then I'm not. So I wouldn't wait forever and ever just to have that perfect amount of time. I wouldn't wait. And if you're not a morning person, trying to always get up early is just probably not going to happen permanently. You probably know, especially if you're in your late 20s, 30s, and beyond, you probably already established, who you are when it comes to your energy levels, and if you're a morning person or if you're not. So if you're not, you just have to do it in small times. That's how I got a book. It really wasn't giant loads of time. It honestly, half of it, like I would say most of the book, I wrote most of the material. I was disgusted with myself because I didn't get up early enough. Like literally, I can flip through that thing, and like most of it is, I wrote that in like 15 minutes because I slept in with only 15 minutes to go instead of the hour like I told myself I was going to. But yet here we go. Like you put enough 15-minute increments, and yet you still have a finished product. So you just got to do it when you can. In between, around the kid's schedule, while you're waiting to pick people up, while you're standing in line, just fit it in where you can, and it's going to accumulate. It's going to become something. The next thing is accountability. Don't do it on your own. Writing is notoriously a very solitary hobby, job, and it fits me as well. I am more of a solitary person. I've always been a lone wolf my whole life, and I love writing. However, sometimes that backfires because you want to write, but if there's no one else enforcing that, or no one else holding you to being accountable, it's so easy for you to kind of back and get out of it. So definitely finding an accountability buddy, either someone that you know, or someone who, again, we live in one of the greatest ages of all time for connectivity. ironically. So definitely join a group, a Facebook group, a writing class that can get you into um, being productive and telling someone you're going to write and having them check in on you. Butting up with someone where you both check in on each other and ask, how it's going is awesome. I definitely did it. I had to do it. Sometimes it definitely helps. Simply because you just don't want to be embarrassed when you didn't write. So now you having to come up with an excuse for why you didn't do what you said you were going to do to somebody. It changes a lot of things. The other one is just make it a habit too. Again, doesn't have to be a lot of time. I am a huge fan of the Pomodoro method. I don't know if you've ever heard about it. I even mentioned in the book. It literally is a productivity hack where you will work for a short amount of time with breaks. So the most common is working for 15 minutes straight. We just work, and it's going to be just writing for 15 minutes. When you set a timer. When the timer goes off, after 15 minutes, you take a 5-minute break. All right. And then at the end of that 5 minutes, if you want, you can do that again, 15 minutes, and then a 5-minute break, and then 15 minutes, and then 5-minute break. And during that 15 minutes, you are in it, and you're just nose, butt in the chair, writing. You can take a break, ease up at 5 minutes. And unless you don't want to, oftentimes you'll find once you get in the flow, you actually won't need as many breaks, but it's there for when you need it. And at the end of an hour, if you do an hour, you take a longer, like 15-minute break, and then you do the whole thing over again. And it's a really, really awesome. I've loved it. Was done that way too. I just doing 15 minutes and then done, or 15 minutes, 5-minute break, and then 15 minutes again, and then done. Like that. It's been very, very helpful and very productive. And the more you do stuff, and I even talk about this in my book, Life Change Now, the more you do things, the more you enforce the power of habit over and over and over, the easier it will be. And not just the easier it will be, the worse it will feel for you to skip it. And that's kind of what you want. So you just want to do it over and over and over again. Okay. And the last thing too is honestly, you have to let go of perfection. It won't exist. And I tell you, like, I just got into this editing over and over and over and over and over again, and I had to stop because I can literally edit this book from now to eternity. And at one point, you just have to accept it is what it is, and just let it go, and just hands up, take your hands off, and just let it go. It has to end. It has to go out sometime. So, and I know that a lot, especially if you are a perfectionist, a lot of people let that perfection hold you back. And especially once you start writing, you're like, oh, I don't like that. Let me go back and edit it. And next thing you know, they're editing like the same first chapter over and over and over. You have to just let it go and just keep it going. And just know that you can get it done and then just keep, you can always edit it later, some more. But even after you edit it, again, there has to be a point we have to be like, it is what it is. So we can't wait for the perfect time frame, the perfect amount of time, the perfect mood, the perfect this, the perfect that. Just let it go. And as far as also, I actually have like a little, let's see if I can find it. So I have, try to see if I have, yeah. All right, so I actually I made a vision board a long time ago, and I even like wrote up I did like a little Amazon, if you can see it. But basically, one thing that kept me on track, I haven't seen this in such a long time, but this actually, way a long time ago, I wrote up and created like a little Amazon chart thing that had my book on it, like before it was really done. So that, and I stuck it up Again, you can put it by your computer. I had it next to up here, I think. And it just, I would look at it and just be like, yep, that reminds, this is what I'm working for. I want to have my book up on Amazon. And yeah, so it definitely can be a nice way to visually keep you on track and stay motivated. Definitely. Okay, so that is it. So I just definitely want to motivate you to, if you are wanting to write a book, do it. Do it, do it, do it. It's so important that you do that. And just get it done, and small increments of time, and you're gonna have it done before you know it. And leave plenty of time. And joining a group that is like a writing group and a publishing group too. Published writers also is helpful because they certainly have a lot. There's a lot of information to share. So you can usually find groups like that on Facebook easily, you know, for free. And that is usually, oftentimes run by authors, by publishing companies and stuff like that. And there's just a lot of good information. So definitely do that, check that out, and get it out. And I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you watch this replay, and hopefully you get out. I think I'm going to head outside for a little bit, and have a wonderful day and a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend as well. All right, so be well, be blessed, and we will see you next time. And remember, to change your life, you must first change yourself. All right, be well and take care.